Hello, everyone. Want to see who's all here? We got Crazy Mama. I'm going to wait a little bit, you guys, because I know there's going to be some more people on here before I start in. Hey, pretty lady, how are you? Lori, you can say hi.
Hi. Hi, Crazy Mama.
She's literally froze. Hello, Amanda. How are you? Okay, that's fine, Crazy Mama. You come when you can, okay? I appreciate you being here. Hey, Tia. There's Tia.
Hi, Tia.
Okay, why is this not going here? There we go. I know, Tia, I think you're driving, aren't you? Just give it a couple minutes because I'm usually always late. And what's the matter? You can turn your volume all the way down. That's what I do. I'm in the car. Hopefully my connection won't fail us. You can always go back and watch the replay. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. She ain't driving, she's riding. Are you driving? We're going to wait for just a few minutes, guys. My phone's going to keep vibrating. I'm turning that sucker off. I'm going to get over here, guys, and so I can answer questions too, if needed. Turn my volume all the way down. Hey, Broken Justice, how are you? Hope you're doing good. You're lounging. It's been a crazy week, guys. Can you guys see Lori and me okay and hear us okay? Lori talks, so see if they can hear you.
Can you hear us?
I just need to know that you guys can hear us okay. We need a voice. We need to be able to hear. You guys hear us.
I'm wearing the same sweatshirt, Lori. Awesome. This is Mark's, but I'm wearing it.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about my sweatshirt and t-shirt happening? Yeah.
Yeah, they said they can hear you both.
Good. I ordered a sweatshirt and a hairy t-shirt, and when I'm done, I will is that still going on, the sweatshirt?
I think so.
I will I will put that in the description along with Harry's Facebook page and the Venmo and the PayPal, guys, if anybody wants to order a shirt or donate however you want. Anyway, so I ordered mine, and that's my friend Cheryl.
Oh, because she said I know this case inside and out.
Yep.
Cool.
I've talked. She's been on every one of my videos.
Cool.
Anyways, I went out to Mark's a couple weeks ago, and they've got all their sweatshirts, and I'm like, I'm still waiting on mine. Couldn't figure it out. Well, I finally found my sweatshirts. My dogs, the UPS man left my package sitting on my porch with 5 dogs, you guys, and my dogs destroyed the package. I still haven't found the package other than one little piece of it. And the sweatshirt has holes in it. They destroyed it. So I wear it with the holes down the sleeve. I'm rocking the new style, guys. I am too. I'm going to scoot closer to you. I promise I don't stink.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, Tia. So I got to order me some more. It was a sign because they didn't have the pink one in my size. And that's what I wanted really was the pink one. So, hey, LFT, Decipher. Yeah, it was crazy. I could not believe that my dogs destroyed my hairy sweatshirts. Okay, we're going to wait for about 2 more minutes, guys, and then we're going to start in. I am so excited about this. I'm sure, Lori, this is your very first
It is.
interview.
Very first time.
Yep. And Lori needed to be heard too. That is for sure. Because she has been through this with Mark since, you know,
A long time.
a long time.
We've been together probably married 26, been together 30. Been together 30.
Yeah, and I cannot wait for them to hear the story of how tough you really are and how tough your marriage is.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get teary-eyed because I do that. I do that. I am looking forward to Lori's story. Yeah. I've honestly I've always wanted to know Lori's story, and a good friend of ours said this would be perfect. And when she said that, I agreed. Because poor Lori, she's the fighter, you know, and she's in there doing everything, but sometimes, which I know she's not looking for any good job, pat on the back by any means, but Lori's my hero.
Oh, thank you. Mhm.
Wrench me. Yeah. Well, I will, because you guys know that I had to get rid of Tia. I need to wrench you too. I had to get rid of all my moderators because there was a rogue moderator deleting everybody's comments, and of course people were being blocked. I had 106 people blocked on my channel. Lost over 200 subscribers. And I'm not the only one. Okay. Oh, shoot. I keep removing add moderator. Okay, you should be good. Tia. It's not showing yet, but it will. Okay, Tia, there's yours. Cheryl, talk. Comment something to make sure that you have a wrench. Tia, I don't know. I don't know why people do that kind of stuff, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, you got it, Cheryl. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started, you guys. This right here is Lori Milligan, Mark's wife. How long have you and Mark been married?
We've been married for 26 and been together for 30.
Wow.
Long time.
And still have that love that you guys have. And that's not even everything that they've been through. Mark lost his only brother. You have fought cancer.
Yep.
How many times?
Well, I've had cancer and breast cancer, and it's been 10 years now. And now I have MS. So we're dealing with MS right now. So I do infusions every 6 months, but I'm 10 years out from breast cancer.
She's quite the survivor.
So we made it.
Yes. Yep. And there's a reason why God has you here. Yep.
Yep.
Definitely a reason. And what do you like to do for tell them what you did for a living.
I was a 911 dispatcher for almost 30 years.
911 dispatcher, you guys.
And I worked the late night shift for almost 30 years.
Wow.
And now I'm retired. And then I did work part-time at a post office, and now I'm retired, and I knit a lot, and me and Mark are Vikings fans, and we're crazy about the Minnesota Vikings. So we go to Vikings games, and we love our Minnesota Vikings.
And I'm from Minnesota. So yeah, I football don't impress me anymore, but, and so you knit. How many grandkids do you guys have?
We have 2 grandkids. We have a granddaughter that will be 16 in March, and we have a grandson that will be 10.
Yep.
So we have 2 grandkids.
I want you to tell the audience what happened with your daughter-in-law and then your granddaughter years ago.
Well, our daughter-in-law passed away when she was 29, and our granddaughter was a couple of months old from a heart condition. And then our granddaughter has a heart condition called hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And she's had 4 open heart surgeries, and she will be 16. So she's amazing.
And she is you and Mark's pride and joy.
She is. She is.
I mean, your grandkids.
Both of them.
Yeah.
We love them both. But yep, she's quite amazing, everything she's been through.
Yeah.
She kind of helped me through my cancer by her going through all of her heart stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you guys need each other.
Mm-hmm.
They told me one time that she was going to have to go to college here. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
because we wanted her to stay close to us.
Or they're going to college with her.
We're going to college.
It's one or
with
the
her.
other.
Yeah. We told her we're going to take an RV and go to college with her, but she's not too happy about it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I want to know, did you even know Harry?
I did not. I've never met him, and I do not know him.
So at what point, how long had you and Mark been together? How long before then had Harry came up missing?
Because I've been with Mark for 30 years total, and Harry's been missing this will be the 38, going on in the 38th year. So he had been missing for over 7 years when I met Mark.
Okay. What was that like being married to a man that, was he a police sergeant at that time then?
No, he got into law enforcement after I became a 911 dispatcher.
Okay.
And then he got into law enforcement, and then he became a police officer, and he was a sergeant. And then he went to Atumwa, was a police officer, and was a detective. He had a canine drug dog, and he was in law enforcement for 21 years. And I was in law enforcement for almost 30.
What was that like, being with a man, boyfriend before the marriage, and then married to somebody that lost his brother? We don't even know how we lost him.
It's been crazy. Yeah, you're
Yep.
gonna make me cry, but
Debbie, will you hand us some Kleenexes over there? They're on the table. Sorry, guys.
I just have never known Mark without looking for his brother in our whole relationship and in our whole marriage. There's never been one day in our marriage that he's not been looking for his brother. We talk about his brother. We argue about it. We talk about the case, but there's not been one day in our life that we have not thought or talked about Harry Milligan. I would like to know what it's like to be married to someone that is not looking for their brother every day.
Because this is all you've ever known.
It's all I've known.
Could you imagine, you guys? Could you imagine? I could not imagine me being with the man that I'm with and him looking for his brother. His only brother, his only sibling. Do you have brothers and sisters?
I do. I had 4 brothers and sisters. My 3 sisters have all passed away from cancer. And then I have a brother in Kansas. So I still have 1 brother. And then I have a couple half brothers too. Mm-hmm. But we've always talked about that. He always has said, what would you do if it was your sister? And I would not stop, and I would never quit. Yeah. And that's why I know he's never going to stop. He's never going to quit until he finds out what happened to Harry and where he's at.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can promise you guys, they will not stop, and neither will we. How can you? How can a person hear this story and walk away? I don't know. Because as a human, you possibly could not. Unless you're a freaking robot and don't have a soul. And these they're the nicest people. You guys, I know, you guys hear me talk, and Tia, you know them. But without truly knowing them, you can't even imagine what amazing people they are. Not just a friend, just... Anyways, I feel blessed that Harry brought us together. Now it's time for us to find him and lay him to rest so he can have a proper burial.
I think the most important thing for Mark is just, it isn't even what happened. It's just, where is he at? And
That's all he wants.
And we need to there needs to be an end to this. Someday there has to be an end. So Mark doesn't have to think about it every day of his life and keep a promise that he made to his dad to find him.
Yeah.
It's not so much about what happened to him or who did it. What's most important is finding him,
yeah,
and being able to know that it's over.
Do you remember the promise that Mark made to his dad and
Yeah.
mom? What was that promise?
His dad told him to find him, and Mark is never going to stop until he does. He has to keep that promise to his dad, and I understand that. He does. He has to find him for his dad, even though his mom and dad have both passed away.
Mm-hmm.
He still has to keep that promise to his dad.
Yeah.
And you never could talk to his mom and dad ever about Harry without, we all cried every time. They never talked about him without crying. And I want them to know that Mark kept his promise. I want it to be done for Mark.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, that is one thing Harry wasn't even my family. I didn't know Harry, but every day, every day, you guys, I think of him. So I can't imagine what they go through on a daily basis, wondering, where is he?
I think we talk about him every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day of our lives, we talk about what's next, what do we need to do, what information, what Mark needs to do. And I think every day we talk about him. We sometimes argue about things too, because we don't always agree on everything, but I think every day we talk about him.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine. How did you, when you first started dating Mark, how did he tell you about Harry? Or did he tell you right away, or did he wait?
Pretty much. I think we talked about it pretty much right away, because I had kind of heard about that Harry was missing from other friends that I knew that were Mark's friends. And I think we pretty much talked about it right off the start because of his parents. And I think he wanted me to know that, okay, it's going to be in our lives and it's going to be there, and it is. And so he pretty much told me right off the bat, and it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to love a family that his brother's missing. It's heartbreaking because there's nothing I can do to change it. There's nothing I can do but support him and be there for him and hope someday that he finds him. That's the most important thing.
Well, the sad thing is before the Facebook page and before Tia and me, it was just you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It was just Mark and Lori.
And Mark would usually put a post on his birthday and on the day he came up missing on Facebook and tell people that he was thinking about him. If anybody has any information to get a hold of him, he just didn't want it to be forgotten. And so he would always put a post probably twice a year and say that if anybody has any information, or I'm thinking about Harry today, and we don't want it to be another year. We want it to.
Oh, I can promise you, I will promise you it's not going to be another year.
We hope not.
Not with Tia and her podcast. That woman, we were just talking about you guys, Tia. Harry brought us together. You know that. And I'm going to tell you guys the story of how Tia, Elle, and them came. I was on Alex Erickson's YouTube channel, Mark and Me. And at the end, I literally poured my heart out again, begging someone to look at this case like I did every other time. This was God, because Tia and the girls were working on another case, and it became too much for them, like a circus, and she said she would do it. And that was the day that changed everything, because like I told Mark and Lori, they eat, breathe, and sleep Harry, and that's what we need. tell me about the fights. I know you guys had arguments. I
Yeah.
don't want to know. I mean, there was so many bad times, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But look at you. I mean, you guys, the perfect couple. They love each other. This is what I want. I want in a marriage is what Mark and Lori have.
We've been through a lot, and I think that's kind of what keeps you going. That there's always something. We've learned a lot, that there's always somebody worse off than you are. And Mark started to say when I had breast cancer that every day is a good day, and we try to find something good every day. But we do have fights about it because I try to keep him. He says I get wishy-washy sometimes, but I try to keep him on a level of don't always think about it as a police officer that he was for 21 years. You have to look at it in a different way, and I try to look at it in a different way. I try to see a different side of it, and I sometimes want him to see that, oh, it could be this or it could be that. But you have to, I have a woman's point of view on it, I think, to where some things are different and some things don't matter and some things do. But I know how important it is to him, but sometimes we argue about it because we talk about Harry's case probably every night. When we're sitting together in the living room watching TV, we'll talk about Harry's case, and we'll talk about information and people that have got a hold of him and how do we feel about things and what do we agree on and what we don't agree on.
Because I've never, husband and wife that's been together for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard you guys scream at each other.
We do.
But I've not heard that.
Yeah, we do sometimes.
But you guys, but he respects your thoughts and your feelings as you do his.
Mm-hmm. And I just think that it's, we've had rough times and we've been through a lot, but we love each other and we support each other. He's my best friend and he's helped me through so much.
Yeah.
And we're just there for each other. And that's the most important thing.
Yep. It is. It is the most, and communication. And obviously you have to have that.
Yeah.
And you've got that. Yeah. It's something that people want. They want that marriage. Mm-hmm. But there's always the good with the bad.
Oh, sure.
And that's what makes you stronger. And you guys.
Well, Mark had open heart surgery.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you did too.
And our granddaughters had open heart surgery. And when we've gone through all this, then we kind of look at other things and think, well, that isn't that bad because look at what we've been through. So
I didn't know Mark had open.
He did.
See, I learned something new tonight too, guys. I did.
And my granddaughter had always said when she was young that her and grandpa have zippers and they're special. And I'm like, yep, you guys are.
Wow.
So, yep. So we've just been through a lot and we just hang in there together.
Yep. Okay. This is where we're going to get into it. Okay. I want your voice to tell the audience your story of Harry, what you know and what you feel,
mm-hmm.
what you can.
Yeah.
With your voice.
Okay.
They've heard me, they've heard Mark, they've heard people, but never you.
I think it's just, for me, it's kind of weird to me because I don't know him. I never got to love him. He never got to be my brother-in-law. And so it is weird for me because I love a person and I'm trying to help find a person that I do not know, that I'm never going to know. I love his family and I only know him through his family. I've heard the stories. He's got cousins that love him like a brother. And I've heard so many stories when they were kids. And Mark talks about him all the time and how smart he was and everything they'd been through together. So I love somebody that I do not know and I'm never going to know. And it's weird to me because it's almost like it's hard to make that person real because you've never known them. You've never spoke to them. I've never seen him. So to me, sometimes it's like trying to find someone that's never been there and that you can't find. I don't want to say it's like a ghost to me, but it's like loving someone that I don't know and I'm never going to know. I love him through his family. I love him through Mark. I wish I would have known him. I'd love to know that.
Me too.
I would have loved to have met him and just from everything I've
Mhm.
heard and all the things that he did. And he was a smart one in the family. He was very intelligent, and him and Mark, they were typical brothers.
Mhm.
And it's weird to me because I'm never going to ever meet him and never get to know him. And so I'm helping somebody find someone that I do not know. And I know nothing about him other than what I hear.
Yeah.
My tears and my love comes from them.
And Tia said that's unconditional love.
It
And
is.
it is. It really is.
It is. It's loving someone that I would give anything for Mark to know what happened, for there to be closure for this.
Peace.
I would just like to say this is over for us.
Mhm.
And maybe we could go on in our marriage and try to be a normal couple.
Because you have no idea what normal is.
We've always been looking for someone that breaks Mark's heart. And I've never known him to not, I don't know how to be a normal couple that's not looking for someone that's missing. It's crazy because you see that in the movies, but you don't ever think it's going to be your life. And it's our life.
And that is the truth.
And I know there's so many missing people in Iowa and in the world. There's missing, everybody.
Yep.
We're not the only ones dealing with this, but it's so sad that people have to deal with this.
And let's hope that they pass the cold case unit for Iowa.
So that they have somebody that will be also helping these families find their loved ones.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been, Tia, you guys, we have literally been trying to raise the reward money, not necessarily for just the reward, because a lot of people don't want to donate to a reward. That's their, but what else are you using that reward money for?
We use the reward money is being used for like the shirts, to buy the shirts, and then the money was put back for the money that we made. So it's been the shirts, the big signs that were made by a very special couple to us.
Yeah.
And different things like that.
They're amazing.
Anything that deals with trying to get the word out there.
Mm-hmm.
The t-shirts that we had made, the bumper stickers, the wristbands was donated by a gal. So basically it's whatever we can do to get the word out there. We want people to know that we may not know what you know.
That's it, getting the word out, because 3 years ago, you guys, nobody was talking about this. I lived here. I never knew anything about it. Nobody did. And I know you guys have probably all heard this. I'm not law enforcement. I can't do a lot. I can't donate a lot of money, but I'm going to tell you, social media, and Harry's the reason I started my YouTube channel. We can talk about it. We need to be talking about it. Everybody needs to be talking about it. We live in a small town. There's no reason why every day Harry's not being talked about throughout this town.
It's just so shocking to me that a small town like this, and a lot of people don't remember that night. They don't remember what they were doing, where they were at, what was going on. They don't remember if they saw him or not. They don't remember.
A lot of different stories.
The stories change, and people don't recall what actually happened that night, or if they saw him or any of that. And to me, how does that change? The truth should not change. Right. So there's a lot of things that are different with this case, because different stories, different things happened, and a lot of people just don't remember.
Yeah. And then the truth never changes. And you got to realize there's always some truth to every lie too.
Right. True.
Being in law enforcement, you know that.
Mark spends a lot of time trying to figure out what they're actually saying when they're saying something different. So a lot of times you try to.
So even though Mark's retired, he's really not.
Yeah.
Because he's working every day.
He's always trying to figure out, what are you really trying to tell me? Or what do you know? A lot of people get a hold of him. A lot of people say, we thought you knew this. You can't never assume that he knew it, because it's been a long time and things have been changed. Stories are different and things are forgotten.
Yeah. When did his family have to declare Harry dead? And tell me the story on that.
I think it was 7 years after he came up missing, and that was his dad had a life insurance policy, I believe, and the life insurance policy wanted him to stop making the payments on that. And over a period of time, is that right, Mark? Over a period of time, they said that, he needs to be declared legally dead, and you need to stop making the payments on a life insurance policy when someone's missing, and you don't know what happened to him.
And didn't they were going to, what was he in the military? What did they declare him if he wasn't declared dead?
Yeah, at first they declared him a deserter, AWOL. First they declared him AWOL because he did not return back to the military after the time off that he had. And then they declared him a deserter. And then that really upset Mark's dad because
can you imagine? That was important
Harry
to him.
was not a deserter, and that upset him because he was a Marine, and that was not going to fly.
Yeah.
And so they ended up declaring him deceased, I'm assuming, through the military because he did not return.
Yeah. I mean, could you imagine a family of military?
Yeah.
And that probably, when he did that, could you imagine how his dad felt?
Yeah, it was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Because you were around that time, you had got with Mark.
Yeah. And that's when I know that was a decision he didn't want to make, but pretty much someone else made it for him.
Because we have a monument here in Albia, and you guys really, and I can do a video on it. It's called the Welcome Home Monument. Beautiful. And some lady, she actually paid, right, for Harry's name to be put on there.
Can I say her name, you think, Mark?
Sure.
Angie Kozlik actually paid to have Harry's name put on the Welcome Home Soldier. It was such a blessing to have her do that, and it meant so much to us to have his name there, because Mark's name's there, my dad's name's there, and Mark's dad's name is there. And then she paid to have Harry's name put there.
I think I do have a video of Mark pointing at Harry's name. Yeah. Smiling Wolfette wants to know if military ever offered to help you guys.
That's something we're not sure. That would have been something his parents would have probably known about. Mark was in the military at the time, and he went back. He came home to search for Harry, and then he had to go back. So a lot of things went through his parents, and we're unsure what the military did.
Broken Justice wants to know, did they get his benefits like his insurance from the military? Did the family?
We don't know.
Mark don't know.
We don't know that either. If they did, his parents never told us that.
Tia, I promise I will do, I'll actually do one tomorrow. And I'll even go out and show Harry's name and everything on there. You're not late, Shay. You're fine. You can go back and watch it. You can go back and watch it. Other than finding Harry, what is your main goal?
I think the main thing is that Mark has to keep a promise, and I'm going to stick with him until that promise is kept to his dad.
That's awesome.
Even though his dad's not here anymore, I'm sure it's a Marine thing, but Mark is going to keep his promise, and until his dying day, he will be searching for Harry, and until we find him, we're never going to stop, because that's a promise he made. And I know how he feels about keeping his word to his dad. So
Tia says, let's get with the Marines and see how they would like to help. I agree,
think
Tia.
Someone is trying to do that. I think.
Yep, there is.
Yeah,
yep.
I think people are trying to get a hold of them and see what they can do to help, and also what they did back.
Yeah, because you guys don't know what they did. I mean, it's bad enough. You don't know where he is. You don't know what happened. Nobody's talking. And nobody wants to tell the family anything. Unbelievable. I have a lot to say about that, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Yep.
It's just hard to believe for 37 years, nobody has ever said they know where he's at or what happened. I mean, 37 years you kept that secret. You know, you need to give this family peace and let them go on with their life and let Harry have what he deserves.
Yeah, because the truth shall set you free. I mean, Broken Justice says, because military insurance for a soldier that has passed away, that never expires. So if they didn't get it, Mark would be eligible for that, would be a big hunk of change that would help. That'd be something for you to look into. And I'm sure Tia and them will help with all that.
Idea.
We'll figure that out. Thank you, Cheryl. Yes. And somebody agreed with Cheryl too. That's
because if that is the case, that could be added to the reward money and help with someone that does come forward. We're hoping that someday the reward money will make someone say, I'm going to tell where he's at, because
these people are not getting any younger.
Right.
They're getting older. People have passed away. We can't let anybody else pass away not knowing. Cheryl, I hear you. It's hard not to cry. Yeah, it's very hard not to cry. Another thing I was wanting to talk to you. Oh, I will put the tip line in there, you guys. The number for people to call if they're. Mark has a special phrase that every time he posts something, what is that?
It's what happens in the dark will be brought to the light.
Did you guys hear that? What happens in the dark will be brought to light. And if that is not the truth, that is the truth. Because the truth always comes out. It always does. We all know that. Just think about it. If it was your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, how do people not want to help? You guys want to know the one thing that really frustrates me the most is we have people on YouTube that want to donate to somebody that wants to go to the casino, wants to go out for supper. We have people that want to donate for a nightgown, makeup, used makeup. But I can't get people to donate to Harry. That is the one thing that upsets me the most. And I hope one day I get a phone call from Mark or Lori and say, somebody donated an awesome amount to help us. I pray for that. I wish I could do that. I give what I can.
And you and Jim have been awesome. The t-shirts have been in your shop, the bands, you've been taking donations.
Yeah. Every dollar helps. We have a Facebook page, Harry's Facebook. If everybody donated $1, $5, can you imagine how much that support? Because before all this, everything was coming out of your pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Before you got with your friends, you guys were paying for everything, for the signs.
Mm-hmm. And then very special friends of ours made the signs and got donations for the signs. And then a anonymous person donated the lights for the signs that are going to be put up. So the signs will be lit up at night.
That's awesome.
That was something I wanted from the start. I told Mark I'd seen a movie about 3 billboards. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I want signs put up so that everybody in Albia has to look at Harry every day. They will drive by and see that he's not forgotten and that we're not going to give up. And so I wanted people to drive by every day and see a picture of him. And it happened from special people.
Yeah.
Special friends of ours made that happen.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of people, they'll tell Mark, I drove by, I saw the sign, made me
think there's still people that.
Or some people didn't know about it.
They still
see
don't.
The signs
They're
and
still,
say, we didn't know.
Centerville, Knoxville, I'll get messages from people. Who's this Harry? Still,
Mm-hmm.
who is Harry Milligan?
Yeah.
So I invite them to the page or whatever. It's nuts that everybody don't know about this. What's that?
Tie.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to talk about that. Mark and you, there's a young man missing 20 miles south from us. He's been missing 3 years, I believe.
Yeah. He's from Centerville.
And
right, Mark?
yep,
From
he is.
Centerville.
I know his sister, the one brother, with COVID and everything. The sister's actually going to do an interview with me.
Nice.
And what did you guys do for that family that they have no help either, you guys? Hey, Jennifer.
So when they were doing the signs and these special people that were doing the signs for us, Mark said, I want to put Ty on one sign too. So on one of the signs, when you're going into Centerville, you'll see Ty. And when you're coming out of Centerville, Harry's on the backside. Because we don't want that family to ever think that their son, brother, father is not as important as Harry is. So he is also on one of the Harry signs.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to forget about him too. We want him found for his family too.
Mark and you don't want another family going 37, 38 years without finding their family member. You guys are just awesome people.
Oh, well, thank you.
You
And
really
so are.
are.
You and Jim.
Well, nothing like you guys. You guys do not know what it means that you even allow me to talk about Harry.
We're so thankful that you are, because we have to get the word out there, and you do it every day, Alice.
I do. I try. I said
you're amazing.
One thing I will never quit talking about him, and I'm not going to. There's a few other people out there, even more.
Yeah, like
they're not going to shut up. People
Yeah.
are not going to shut up.
people came into our lives that have become family and
Yes.
special friends now.
I've
and-
met friends through.
Yeah,
I didn't even know you guys that. I mean, I did, but we weren't
Right.
close.
Yeah.
I mean, I said I wasn't going to talk,
but
but other friends I've met through. It's just amazing. And I know for a fact that Harry's done this, and he knows it's time. It's time to be found. And he is getting the best of the best together.
I think this was a blessing from Harry for
Oh.
Mark, because with you and Debbie, everything has changed. Mark has someone actually helping.
Yeah, he's been alone. You guys have been
Yeah,
alone.
he's figuring out that for him, I think the most important thing was to know that somebody else cared besides just me and him and his family. It was
Like I said, how do you care?
Yeah. So it was special to us to know that other people, what the heck, other people are going to help. They're going to look, they're going to talk, they're going to get the word out there. And they also think about Harry and they want him found.
I want that more than anything. Anything. I know I've said it before. You go down a road, you go past a pond, a reservoir, a lake, a ditch. Is Harry there? Every day. I can't imagine what you
Me and Mark
guys
drive by the same places. We don't come to Albia without going by probably every sign. We go by, he was last seen at the library. We go by the library. We never come to town without going by certain places that
Yeah.
Mark thinks Mark has to go by
I couldn't
just
imagine.
to look and see if anything's being done or what's happening,
Yeah.
or if the signs are still up, or
Truth teller, Harry Milligan. That's who I'm talking about. The one, yeah, you've heard me talk about him.
oh, she said your bio's on there about him.
Yep.
If
Yep.
you want to talk about his bio.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, this iPad. Don't get me started. I am not tech savvy. I suck. And everybody on here knows it. Everybody. Okay. Harry, who would be her brother-in-law, who's been missing since June 30th, 1984. Now, can I let you do this?
Sure.
Because guess what? You deserve this. You deserve your voice.
So Harry was 21 years old. He was a Marine Corps reservist that went missing from Albia, Iowa. He was home from college and went out with friends on June 30th of 1984. He was last seen in the early morning hours of July 1st. He was reported leaving the business area of Albia, headed in the direction of his family home in Avery, Iowa, that is approximately 7 miles away from town. He never made it home. Harry has not been seen or heard from since, and his vehicle has never been found. Foul play is expected. The search to find Harry continues. His brother Mark has been working diligently for almost 4 decades. It'll be 38 years this year to find answers about Harry's disappearance for almost 38 years. Harry's missing person involuntary cold case is now being looked at as a criminal investigation. At some points, people thought that he had actually maybe taken off on his own, but after so many years, that's not true. And he would have never done that to his family.
Yeah, because tell him about his sister.
Because his sister was living at the home where Harry was living, and she was sick and dying of cancer. And she died not long after he came up missing.
Like what, a month?
I think it was 30 days.
30 days to the day.
That his
he would have
sister
not
died.
missed his sister's funeral. No
Yeah.
way.
The developments are all about getting the word out so Harry will not be forgotten. That's the most important thing. Social media, the Harry Facebook page. We hope people that have not joined it will get on there.
And
join
I will be
the
putting
Facebook
that
page
in the description, the Venmo, the PayPal. I will have everything you guys need to be able to follow this.
Podcasts, many billboard signs were made, T-shirts, posters, fundraiser. We had a vigil. We did a fundraiser to raise money for the reward. News media, news articles. Harry's parents, it affected them. They're both deceased now, but it broke their hearts. And to leave and never know what happened to their son is heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. That, you know what? Did that feel good?
Yeah.
Because she's always, she's never really got to. Mark has had a few times to be able to, but not Lori. And
Yeah.
I'm excited that you're able to talk about it, because you've kept, it has to do good to be able to say, I loved him.
Even though I didn't know him.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of like the public. The public, you people didn't know him. You never seen him. And I feel like I'm kind of like the public. I love the family that loved him, but I didn't get the chance to love him or to have a part of his life. And I hate that I missed out on that. But I've heard the stories and the things that he did.
There is, tell me about your dogs there.
That's me and Mark on our front porch, and that's our 3 dogs. There's Hobo, Blitz, and Kaylee.
And let me tell you, you guys think the grandkids are spoiled.
Our dogs are spoiled.
I have never seen dogs so spoiled, but they are the sweetest, and I just love them. Now, who's this?
This is my granddaughter. That's Marissa.
And she is the one that had the open heart surgeries.
She's had 4 open heart surgeries, and she'll be 16 in March. And that's when I was going through cancer and chemo.
Yeah.
And I'm bald, and we're both wearing matching Vikings
Lori,
stocking caps.
You are absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Inside and out.
Me and Mark, I'm bald, and that's at our home. And of course, we're big Vikings fans. So,
gosh.
Mark has always been a big breast cancer supporter.
Yes.
So his Vikings hat is pink, and we do a lot of pink stuff for breast cancer.
Mark's man cave, you guys. You have not seen a man cave
A lot of Viking stuff.
You see, one of these days, if he'll allow it, I will go down and take pictures, and I will post. I don't even think a Vikings player has as much Viking stuff as Mark and Lori. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see.
That's me and my granddaughter this Christmas.
And this is now, she's 16.
She'll be 16 in
Boy,
March.
she's beautiful.
And thank you. And she just got her first car.
Yeah.
So she's excited.
How do you have so much? I've got grandkids. how do you give as much love to her and having to still search for Harry? That would be hard, to be searching for my sister or my brother and being able to love my grandkids. You guys are strong.
We try.
Very strong.
We try.
Did I post this one? Who's that?
That's my son. And
his wife is the one that passed away then.
Yeah.
Yep.
His wife passed away.
So he raised
over 15 years ago.
With you and Mark help as much as you could.
He raised Marissa, and then he's remarried and got a very special wife, and they have a son together.
Yeah. So, because you guys would have to drive to be able to.
We made a lot of trips.
Yeah. When you told me that.
To help him out after she passed.
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say, as good as people as you are, the good always win.
I hope so.
They always win. I don't care what anybody says. The good will always win. And Harry will be found.
I think the people that do know what happened to Harry or have heard what happened to Harry, I think now maybe they'll understand that this time Mark's not going to stop. He's not going to quit. It's not going to go until his birthday or go until the day he came up missing. We're going to be doing something and talking about it and looking for him every day. Mm-hmm. So this time it's not going to be twice a year. It's going to be every day. And I hope those people that do know understand that this time he's not going away. This time we're going to find Harry and do the right thing.
We are not going away. No.
Somebody put Mitch as a blessing. Someone must know him. He is a blessing. We think he's a blessing.
Yeah. I want to tell you guys something. And like I said, I will put it in the description. Tia, her Decipher podcast, next Wednesday night, I'm not really sure of a time, but she will be live on Harry's Facebook page. Anybody and everybody can ask questions that night. We're going to answer questions here if you guys, want to ask questions. But Tia, they're going to do this Harry live next Wednesday night. So I am so excited about that, you guys. Literally so excited. And if you guys, Tia, I would love for you to drop your link for your channel in here, please. You guys need to go to her channel, subscribe to her channel. She is the one that is going to be going Harry crazy like no other. So she will be able to, I'm just going to put it to you this way. She's not going to stop either. So, and she's a go-getter. I call them the Pistol Annies because that's what they are. So, and I'm not really sure what time Tia is going on, but I will do a post that day too and let you guys know what time. And like I said, I'll be putting it in the description. Now, anybody have some questions? Mark's here too. He's just been hanging in the background, letting Lori here do her thing. Anybody have any questions for these guys? I would love for you. Tia is a no holds bar.
That's true.
I would love for you guys to have, if you guys have questions, please ask. And if not, and you want to ask something, we'll have other times, but next Wednesday night on Harry's Facebook page. The Tia Dash. We are the Pistol Annies. I know. Oh, thank you, Granny's watching. She put Harry's Facebook page in here, and you're awesome. Thank you. I have been away from YouTube, you guys, and these guys know it. I have had some things going on with another friend of mine. And so this is actually the first time I've really got to talk to anybody. And I've got a good bunch here. there's a lot of bad that goes on social media and the YouTube, but let me tell you, I've got the good ones with me.
And the word's getting out, and
yeah, Harry's getting out. And yeah, even people that aren't looking like we are, they still talk about him.
Mhm.
And that's what I love. Alex Erickson, she did that. She plans on doing another one on Harry. Tia, you know, it's awesome. And I do not know how I will ever be able to thank you guys, my social media, my YouTube family. I won't be able to thank you
someone
ever.
put their main question was just about what did the military do during 1984.
We don't know.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Mark's not sure, and so with both parents being gone, he's not sure what transpired between his family and the military, or law enforcement and the military.
Yeah.
We're not sure. He's trying to find that out. He's trying to get in touch with some people.
Yeah.
Some friends are helping him, but he's trying to figure out actually what their part was in it, and what if they had any contact with law enforcement, or if law enforcement had any contact with them.
Yeah.
To see what happened, to see what.
That's going to be a huge, that will be huge, just knowing what happened. What did they do? What they did? Because where was Mark when Harry first come up missing?
Mark was in California. Mark was in California. He was a Marine for 7 years. So he was in California when Harry came up missing, and his mom got a hold of him, and he did come home for 30 days,
55 days.
For 55 days to search for Harry. He walked the roads. They thought maybe his car had went into a ditch, or he had drove into a pond, or he had been in an accident. And Mark walked the gravel roads to Avery and did everything they could to try to find his car.
Didn't they? Yeah. Helicopters, look, nothing.
And
I mean, he was just gone,
and
vanished.
Then he went back to the service, and he was in the service for 7 years. Would military records not be included with all? Would military records not be included in law enforcement files? They're not.
Nope. Which you would think they would be, but
they're not. There's very little information in the file about the military. I believe that.
Yeah, he just got to get back in here.
I was just going to say it's easier for me to explain than you to keep looking at me. But as far as the military records in each police file, there is one piece of paper that includes any contact with the military. And all that is a response back from, I believe it was Sheriff Denny Carr, stating that, you know, they had looked into everything, and he was still considered a missing person. There's no, you know, for some reason, there's no two-way communication there, which I think there should be. As far as the military records right now, the biggest thing with that has been, you know, since it became more relevant for everything, you know, and really going through all the records, COVID has been the worst nightmare. Usually, you know, the answers, you know, unless it's an absolute emergency, they won't even look for the records because they limited their staff in St. Louis where all the records are kept. So hopefully now with some of the restrictions and the mandates and all of that stuff starting to lift, we should be hopefully going to get whatever records they do have. You know, there's a lot of different steps to take as far as requesting the records. I didn't realize, you know, until recently with some of the help that we've got that you can do the same thing that you can do to a police department or a sheriff's department and actually submit a Freedom of Information request to the military. And they got to provide that information. So it's just a matter of time of finding that out, you know, I mean, that's kind of where that stands with all the military stuff. As far as the insurance and those type of things, I have no clue. Like I said, it was never, never discussed, I guess, with my dad. You know, he pretty much handled all of that stuff to begin with when I was gone. So, you know, as far as what transpired there, I just don't know. You know, and then later on, unfortunately, before he passed and everything, you know, he started getting dementia and Alzheimer's. So, you know, I mean, it was just kind of a sad deal that you couldn't even, you know, when it really became an issue, you couldn't even really ask, you know, the questions and get an answer from him. So.
Did you see what Tia wants to ask you?
She wants to know what I think might have happened to Harry. I'm not sure. In my opinion, I think that it had to do with possibly money, and something happened to him over him winning money in a card game. But other than that, I'm not sure what happened to him, because every time we start going one direction thinking this happened, then somebody may call Mark and tell him a different story. So we're really unsure what happened, and it's not that important, I don't think, to Mark and the family now to know what happened to him. That's beside the point. 37 years later, we don't know, and we may never know. The most important thing is finding him and putting him to rest and giving him the respect that he deserves. It's not what happened to him, but where he's at.
Absolutely.
So I don't think that's as important now as it may have been 37 years ago.
Yeah.
But now it's not what the purpose is. It's not the cause.
Yeah.
It happened, and it's the main thing is to find him and keep a promise.
Smiling Wolfette said, Mark, this is for you. How were you able to make it through another 7 years after having to go back after just 55 days?
Well, that's called being a Marine.
It's called being a Marine.
I mean, simple. You signed up for an obligation. Yeah, would I have rather been back here? Sure. I mean, I think things could have been a lot different. But at the same time, it's hindsight's 2020. I mean, I had to do what I had to do. I thought my mom and dad were doing a good job in trying to get help back here. And then you find out later by looking through police files that there was multiple times that they had contacted law enforcement asking them what they were doing, and basically got told nothing. I mean, because they weren't doing anything. The other part of it was, at that time I was 18 years old. I didn't know what to do either. I had no clue. Now that you're 50, in your 50s, 56, you have a lot more knowledge, a lot more experience, a lot more common sense. So it makes it easier to look at things now. I mean, and that's what I just I want people to understand probably more than anything is with all the people that are on board, with Allison, with the Decipher gals, all of them gals, and the other, anonymous people, the other people that are in my circle right now that I have, most of these people, to be honest, I mean, other than Allison, are not from Albia. They have no ties to Albia. They have no, I guess, relationships with people here that everybody knows how a small town is. You pat my back, I pat your back, that type of thing.
Everybody's related to everybody or knows everybody.
The people that are helping me now, they don't care. And personally, I don't care. I don't live in Albia no more.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of looking at facts, digging for facts, going back through every piece of information in that file, and questioning what people said, what they done, what they didn't do, or what they didn't say. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing. But everybody always thinks, well, we're just going in circles. It's not really going in circles. It's going back and taking a whole different look at things and being a way more detailed about it and following up on a lot of things. I'll be honest, I don't go a week don't go by that something else don't come up. Lori can attest to it. Last night I got a message from somebody, call me right now, call me, and I called that person up, and we probably talked for an hour on the phone about an individual that this person associates with, that just now put two and two together of Harry's story and what they may know of Harry's story, and it may enlighten a lot of things, so like I said, it happens every day, and it's just getting deeper and deeper for the people that do know, because, like I said, I've said a million times, everybody knows my opinion. There's people that know. They're not all dead. I mean, some of them died early because of freak accidents and all kinds of weird things in this town. But overall, there's still a lot of them still around. They're all my age. The people that ran around Harry, the people that were out that night partying, the class of 81, 82, 83, 84, whatever you want to put that, you were all around. Everybody was around and everybody saw something. People
Yeah.
better start thinking, because a lot more people are starting to wake up and realize, hey, maybe I should tell you this, or I didn't know you didn't know this. And they're starting to say, well, I saw this, I saw that, you know, and it's,
Did you see the question?
Yeah. First of all, a lot of people are thanking you
Yep.
for your service and your time in law enforcement, for as a dispatcher. But okay, I have one last question for Lori and Mark. Since bringing up the Harry page, how has that affected you both with, I guess, all of the information being thrown your way? That's got to be hard. Good question.
you know, what do you think?
That's why we argue a lot.
That's
And
why
do.
we
I
argue
mean,
a lot.
We
you
argue
know,
about the page. We look at it different, and
it's not being mad at each other.
Mm-mm.
We both like to, well, we both like to think we're right a lot. That's
True.
that's
And it's
one
a
of the
good thing you
problems.
have other people now that you can
Mhm.
Right.
you can call her, call
I
him,
will
call
say,
me, call Tia.
when me and him get to arguing about something, I'll say, send Debbie a message.
Oh yeah, Debbie, she is like
because
she's my go-to girl, her and Tia.
He'll say, well, you're not looking at it right. And I'll say, then send Debbie a message, because you need someone else to look at it, not
Yep.
the way you're looking at it. You get a lot of information, and Mark usually is the one that has to determine what he thinks is true, what he thinks is not true, what he thinks is important. But he has other people now that he can run this stuff by, and that he can talk to, and that can look at it from another point of view.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
they don't have. I mean, not that people don't care. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But it's great to have people that really don't have just pure emotion involved in it. You know, there's times I know I get blinded and get focused on one thing and think, oh my God, this is it. You know, and then realize later, wait a minute, maybe I'm not. You know, and that's where we get to arguing, which is great. I mean,
Right,
I
we
wouldn't
do.
have it any other way.
Well,
you know?
we
mean,
just argued
she
about
keeps
this.
me sane.
We argued about this last night. I told Mark something, and he said, "You're a downer. You bring me down when I'm thinking this could be good." And I said, "I'm just giving you another side of it. It could be, but you have to look at the whole picture." So we both have to take time.
Yeah.
And
Reality hits you sometimes. She's probably posed me the hardest question of all during all of this.
yeah.
is
When you ask me, what are you going to do if you don't find an answer?
Oh.
because I told him, what happens if this never ends? What happens if this is it? This is what we have, and this is the end of it. I said, what happens if this is it? What will we do? Will the day ever come when we can just say it's not going to happen? It's over and it's the end, because he can't do that. And I said, what happens if you never find the answer? You have to be okay with that. You have to know that your parents are in heaven, Harry's in heaven, and they know now. And that's the promise. But you have to be able to say, this could be it.
Because most people don't realize that's all I want.
I can honestly,
I want to find Harry, and I want to, put him to rest and be done with this. I want, it's like a door. I said, I can't wait for a night to sit on my couch and watch TV and not give a shit about nothing else other than whatever the stupid show I'm watching on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Not have to think, I play scenarios over in my head over and over and over, or I look at messages on my phone and think, okay, is this true? Is that true? How does this put that with this? That's all I want. I want Harry brought home. I want the people that truly loved him and knew him. He did have some very good, true friends out there that, Stacy, Angie, Van, some of them people, that they deserve an answer too. Everybody deserves an answer. This whole community deserves to know what the hell happened.
Right.
And it ain't to hold somebody accountable. It's all about just finishing this and bringing Harry home, and putting him to rest. So.
You've got people on here. They're not going to give up. Smiling Wolfette said, Mark and Lori, I promise you, if that day comes, I will never stop.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to say. My kids know how important this is. Every generation, my kids, when I'm gone, if Harry's not found, they're going to be doing what I'm doing. But I can almost guarantee He's going to be found.
I hope so.
He's going to be found.
And I think even
they're going to slip up. Yeah, all the
Yeah.
technology.
Well, and I think that if Mark would pass before me, I couldn't stop.
No.
Because now I feel I owe him
We're not going
a
to stop.
promise that he made,
Yep.
and I couldn't
Yep.
stop.
Yep.
And I know that if I go before him, he will never stop. And that's just how it's going to be until he's found.
Yep.
But I wouldn't stop either.
No.
Because I know how much Mark loves him,
Yep.
and I know how important it is.
There's too many kids now. I mean, Tia's family, my family, your grandkids, your family. It's not going to stop. It's not going away. It takes one person to say, I know what happened. Put it in a envelope.
We have an anonymous tip line. Somebody could call the tip line and say they know where he's at, and that's it. It would be, nobody would ever know. No one would ever have to know who told us or what happened. There's a tip line you could call and leave a message, and nobody would know.
Yep.
If somebody doesn't want to come forward because they don't want people to know they knew, you can come. You could give the information to an anonymous tip line, or you could send a letter in the mail or something to the law center saying that you know this, and nobody would ever have to know.
Put it in the church offering. That would be a good thing.
There's so many ways that if somebody had the information but they're afraid to come forward, or there's other ways that they can do it to where they would be anonymous and no one would ever know.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me on and letting me kind of tell.
We're going to do this again.
Sure.
I think we need to do this more often. There's new things coming out. Tia, like I said, next Wednesday night, you guys, on the Facebook page, she's going to go live, and you're going to see her work her magic.
Sure.
And people will be able to. How many people's on the Facebook page now?
1,400.
Okay. Yeah.
Invite their friends.
Yes, you guys, invite your friends to the Facebook page. Everybody invite your friends, and you invite their friends, and we need to get it up there. We've got to.
Well, Mark has a friend in Minnesota, of course, from the Vikings, and we sent him one of the Harry signs to put in his yard.
Yeah.
And he told Mark, he said, you may think this is silly, but could I have one of the signs? Because you don't know. And even though he's in Minnesota, you don't know where your information would come from or where somebody would be now, 37 years later, that may have information. We sent him a sign and he put it in his yard, and we appreciate that.
Yep.
That keeps the word out.
Yep. Now we do need to get more of the smaller sign, the little yard
we're
signs.
going to get them.
Yep, I thought you said you were working on them.
We're going to get more signs when the weather's better.
Because once
we
get
get
more,
some more of the car bumper stickers too.
Yep,
for people.
I've got a couple people that want some yard signs in Knoxville, Pella.
Yep, we want to have some more
and
when the weather's better.
Yep.
Then we're hoping to do some more of the bigger signs, the billboard-like signs.
Yeah,
we want to.
Those are gorgeous.
We're hoping when the weather's better that our special friends, we can do more of the.
And I'm sure by then, you guys, I'm sure these wonderful people will get their families and friends to donate so we can get more signs and bigger signs and the lighting to go around them.
Working on doing the flyers.
The flyers. Yep, I've got flyers I've been sending to people, and they've been putting it in their hometowns.
We're just hoping that one person will see a sign or see one of the billboards or see a bumper sticker or somebody wearing one of the bracelets and say, oh, I know something. Yeah. And that's the way we'll hopefully solve this case.
It's not hopefully, that's how we will solve this case. I know it's hard for you guys to think like that.
It is hard after
37 years. But guess what? It's going to happen. I feel it. I wouldn't be here if I didn't.
Sure.
So, anyways, we don't want to keep you.
Well, thank you so much, Allison, for having me.
I love you.
Oh, me too. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. remember next Wednesday night, and I'll be posting everything, and I hope to see you guys there. And I'm sure Tia would be happy for that too. Good night, everyone. I love each and every one of you, and I'm so thankful that you guys are my friends.